Alright, that should be live. Seeing it live on the laptop. Oh, there we go. There we go. Loading in. Alright, everybody. We are live here at the Nurburgring for what is promising to be an interesting, wet, soggy race here for round number 2 of Season 13's Server 2 Evolution Racing Academy Championship. I am BOJ, aka Michael Magus. I will be your commentary provider for the day. If there are any issues with the audio, please let me know in chat. There have historically been some issues in that regard, and if there's a balance issue, I want to know about it. Thank you very much. We are just finishing up the free practice session right now with El Perry on pole position. Well, Professional Hater just took it. So, it'll be interesting, of course, because with the wet rain comes like a great possibility for variety and interesting things. I'm just going to stay in the bits until we kick off the qualifying proper. So, please forgive the interface that is up there right this second. We'll do the standard. I'm going to give you a tour of the track on board with somebody during the early going and qualifying, and then we'll move into just, following who's on a hot lap at any given time. Just to recap, the red cars are iron drivers. That would be like the 463 of Brandon Harvey there. The red number plate indicating the iron. The bronze number plate is going to be the silver number plate, so it's like car 64, car 992, Professional Hater. That would be an example of a bronze driver. And then at the top of the pile, we have the silver cars, which will be driving with the pro number plate, the white number plate, like the 293 of, I forget your first name, my apologies, Gottschlick, who is currently at the top of the pile. We, of course, will be seeing possibly some new faces here today. We'll see. Anybody new to me? Anybody new standing out? I know Gottschlick, Gale, Hader, Perry, Little. Oh, Lucas Geese is back. Lucas Geese returning to the field. That's good. He's in the number 15 Honda. I wonder, is he running running the same livery as last season? That's just the Up Garage Racing livery, which I personally really like. Like, it's a default livery, obviously, but it's a good one. I like it. Anyone else new? We have, I don't recall anyone by the name of Viviers, so that's a new one. We also have Lems. It's a new name. And Herrera. I see John Spriggs, after winning the opening round, has been indeed promoted. As befits him to a silver rating. Let's see here. Does that reflect in the standings? Or, pardon me, he was second to Milestone, but yeah. Wait. He did win. He did win. I'm actually right on that. It's just he's in a weird order here. I guess it's because of the drop scores. The standings, of course, allow for a drop round, and since we're one round in, everyone's technically on 0 points. So the standings are in a little bit of an odd order there, probably because he was promoted pretty late. But anyways, he is the leader, followed by Milestone, Jack Biddle, Isaac Jordan, and Cedric Muir in the silver category. In the bronze category, it's Dennis Hook from Professional Hater, Jeffrey Bacher, the reigning champion, Robert Volt, and Adrian Marood. And in the iron category, it is Brandon Harvey. No, it is not Brandon Harvey. Brandon Harvey just had the pole. I see, it's the pole sitter at the front. Matthias Wiedemann leads the way from Thomas Borders, Sean Young, Tobias Wagner, and Lou Wez. Reigning champion Sean Young is quite far down the order, ironically. Not looking great. Well, I mean, I guess he's in third. It's not that far down. All right, I'm going to listen to the audio here real quick, just for my own paranoid edification. So, please give me a moment.
Green light. Give it all you can.
Okay, just giving myself some audio to test out here, and then we'll go live with well, not live. Well, we are live, but we'll start actually like doing things properly here as I just sort out the technical specifications that we're getting. All right, we are good to my satisfaction. If I am wrong, please let me know. Car 400, you are going to be giving us the track tour. That is Matthias Wiedemann in his BMW M4. Let's hit drive. Give me my control panel. Find the 400 car. There we go. Let's hop in as a passenger. Once we hit the start-finish line, we will talk about how things are going to go here on this track. It's going to be a wet day, which is going to be a heck of a thing. Last time we did the wet, it was at Watkins Glen last season, I think. Or it may have been another one. And that was a thing to behold. The field, all things considered, for what was a very, very monsoonish day, actually behaved itself pretty well. So I'm looking forward to hopefully having this thing. Well, close to the third sector now. The third sector here is, I guess, very, very short. It's basically just two turns. The fast chicane and then the, I want to say it's the Coca-Cola curve. Could be wrong. See, here's the problem with Nurburgring is that it's unlike a lot of, like, classic tracks, its corner names have changed, like, a number of times. And as a result, there are different names floating around that I may or may not have the most up-to-date, correct, or colloquial referred to name. Anyways, to the start-finish straight we go. Heading down to the Pocket part. I'm butchering this. I'm terrible at German stuff. I apologize. Anyways, through turn 1. And then into a section that's just called the Mercedes Arena here. It's a couple of different turns. Very tough. Like, very tough to get right. Not a lot of room to overtake here necessarily, but, like, when you get it right, it feels very, very rewarding. And this is the exit to the stadium section, the arena section. And then we head into the Valvoline/Ford curve. This is the Valvoline curve. This is the Ford curve. And we're going to go full throttle down towards the Dunlop hairpin, which is I would say probably along with turn 1, the key overtaking zone on the track. Makes its way through here, and then we head up to the Schumacher S's, which are very challenging, and you want to do it with as little lift off the throttle as possible. You hear a little bit there from Wiedemann. Not bad. Also, it's wet, so we'll probably see more of a lift off than usual here. Then we head into the Michelin curve. And then the Warsteiner curve. Which is my personal favorite because I love myself a Warsteiner. There we go. Next up is the Advent Bogan. This is more or less just full throttle. There you go. Some cars have to brake to make it. And then we head into the NGK chicane. Another challenging bit of track. And then into the final curve here. This is the Coca-Cola curve, where I embarrassingly one time hit the pit entry right there while trying to pit. I will never live that down in the community when that happened. And Matthias Wiedemann sits the bar at a 205.01. That will not hold up. We saw 202s in practice, so I think we can generally speaking assume that at least we'll be in the 202s for a pole position come long term. Hansen goes second quickest, and Rahman is third place. There we are. Sean Young, fourth place. Not a very good lap from Sean Young. Kieran Rolfe, Brandon Harvey popping up in a fifth. Brandon Harvey is a danger man. He was the pole sitter in the opening round for the iron category. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it again. His one lap pace is extraordinary, and I think he'll be bronze driver before long, because I think he can easily compete with the bronze drivers, honestly, with the best of them. And I look forward to that day. I like this livery from Ari Venter. Pale blue with the black, the white. I like that. It's very nice. Not sure if that's that might be in the game, actually. I know there's a lot of BMW M4 liveries that have been added in recent patches that I've not seen enough to just, like, instantly recognize. It looks like it might be a Turner's Motorsports livery, so I'm not sure. Next one across will be Felix Kramerch in the Rothmans Porsche. Actually, he's in the arena section, so no, he won't be anytime soon. What about Christian Lems in the Maka car? Alright, he's near the end of lap. Working his way through the NGK chicane into the Coca-Cola curve. We'll see what he's got. I have no reference. This could be a great lap. This could be a terrible lap. I don't know which. The delta is 0. There's nothing to compare it to. So, comes across the line in 12th place. Who's on a banger? Newcomer Ron Morley. That might be Ron Stop Action from last season. Sporting the BMW M4. He's on a good lap here. Not pole position or anything, but he's almost 3 seconds up on his lap time. Which is, you know, pretty impressive. It should carry him to 3rd place. If he can keep this up. He does have some traffic in front of him that could obviously get in the way. So far, so good. A couple other good laps going on right now. Massive improvement for Bo Zur at the moment. Oh, this could complicate things. He is really caught up to this green Lambo through the NGK chicane. And it's going to slow him down. Yeah, quite a bit. He lost over a second. That is heartbreaking, but he's still going to see like a 1.2 second improvement in 4th place. So, would have been 3rd place under the pace that he was doing. But he did get the job done. Christian Lems is on a pretty good lap here. He is up to 2nd. 1.2. 1.5 for Tobias Wagner. The capybaras are on display. Working through the NGK chicane. This lap should carry him to 3rd fastest in the session so far. Looking forward to seeing the Aston Martin do some good work. Love that car. Not my favorite. Brandon Harvey's on a banger. 4.6 up right now. That would be pole position as things stand. Granted, he's only at the Dunlop curve, so there's plenty of time. He could mess this up. he could hit traffic. There is traffic up ahead of him. Not sure whom that is. That is a default carbon fiber car. So that is a custom livery that is either not in the pack or not properly in the pack, or... Well, I don't really have another option because I synced my livery pack right before going live. So if it's in the pack, I've got it. That is unquestionable. Into the NGK chicane. Still up 4.6. This would still be pole. At least provisional pole. Coming around the forward curve, or the Coca-Cola curve. And that is going to be a Beamer on pole. Beamer 1-2. Beamers are doing very, very well in the iron category right now. I think that's part of that is the drivers. I mean, obviously having Brandon Harvey and Matthias Wiedemann in your driving roster is powerful. Like those are two guys that I see being like possible title contenders for the Iron Championship. So I mean, regardless of cars, so that's part of it. But also, I think that it's a car that's intuitively pretty easy to get to grips with, and as a result, friendly to the newcomers. Philip Sully in the Ferrari is currently on a good lap, slated to improve more than a second here. Still would only take him up to about 9th place, but improvements. Doing well. Can't say I love the livery, Philip. New livery required, sir. I am not a fan of the blank in-game custom liveries, just in general. That's probably my problem. That was apparently an illegal lap. Okay. say, why did he not show up? The answer is it was illegal. The Irons are heading into the pit lane now as the Bronzes start taking the track. I think we'll stick with Philip Sully here. He's the only one that I think has a particular ability to improve. Brandon Harvey will be on the pole position because I don't think Sully's a threat for that. Wagner currently second, followed by Wiedemann, Hansen, Morley, Rahman, Zur, Kramaric, Gray, and Wolf. Sean Young very far down the order in 12th place. The reigning champion is going to have his work cut out for him as Sully pulls off here. Kramaric is up about 6/10. It would only carry him to 7th place, but such is the gap in the field right now. But you know what? Nobody can. Oh, hang on, never hang on. He's got a really good one going here. He's up 1.2. Apparently, he made a mistake on his best lap through that section right there, and he's up 1.2 now. This would carry him up to 6th place with a shot at 5th place. Ron Morley is not safe. The Rothman's Porch can do. Also, I see in the chat, hope Steven feels better. I also hope Steven feels better. Steven's been a big help with getting some of the commentary stuff set up and everything, so I do hope his ailment clears up quickly. Kramaric coming to the line. This is going to be an improvement, and 5th place. I said Ron Morley was not safe, and he wasn't. Kind of curious, who's the iron we're going to be looking at here for a first lap? The car 911. It's either the 911 or the 992. So car 911, who are you? You are Dennis Hook. Dennis, you should feel incredibly dirty about yourself running a 911 car as a BMW. I know you used to be a Porsche guy. Thanks, Brandon Harvey. Congratulations on the pole. You continue to make my prediction that you would dominate this season's Iron Cup look really good, and I appreciate it. Don't do it for yourself. Do it for the commentary. So Dennis Hook will set the early benchmark for the bronze category, or the bronze category. Work his way through here. Assuming he can keep this lap from being illegal. The only other person on a timed lap right now is Bacher, the reigning champion. We're going to see some new faces out of the field. Always happy to see a bigger, stronger field happening around these parts. Hook heading through the NGK chicane. I have no idea how good this lap is. Oh! Invalid! That's harsh. Alright, it will be the Audi R8 of Jeffrey Bacher who gets to put the opening standard lap in here for the bronze crew. He is a ways away, though. He is at the Dunlop curve. Dunlop hairpin, I should say. Oh, never mind. Adrian Marood and Professional Hater have set the bar, actually. I was wrong. I didn't see them on my screen, so I didn't realize they were on hot laps. But they are at the top of the pile with respectively a 2:02.617 and a 2:03.87. Lucas Geese goes third quickest with a 2:04.112. We'll finish up with Bacher here. We were with him for a lap. We'll see if we can finish it up. Down home. Like I said, reigning champion. So here's hoping. Jaw goes 4th quickest, Stancer 5th quickest. Matthew East also put up a lap time, but it was a 2:05.932, so he's quite a ways back. Alright, Bacher, what do you got? Bacher around the Coca-Cola curve, heading towards the final straight. And it is going to be Illegal. For the second time, I have been fooled by the illegal lap. All right. Well, there is our current pole sitter, the Nubs Racing Division Honda NSX and Adrian Maroon, a championship contender in the bronze category down to the final round last season. It would be great to see him do good things as well. He is currently 2/10 up on his best lap time, which would widen his gap at the front of the field. Should put him at about a 2:02.4 maybe. Professional Hater is on an illegal lap. Lucas Geese is on a good burner, so both the Hondas in the bronze division do quite good things. Also, if I'm not very much mistaken, was Geese not a chat? If you know this, please let me know. But I recall Geese being a silver driver last season. Am I misremembering that, or has he been demoted to the bronze category? There's no shame in that. That does happen. Be clear on that. Robert Volt goes second quickest. Lucas Geese has got a pretty good lap going here. This should put him third. Yep. Across the line, looking for who's on a banger right now. And the answer is Oral Ja is currently looking at, third place. 9/10 improvement. Lucas Geese is on a good improvement lap right now, 4/10 up. Also, Alan Herrera is currently up 4/10 as well on his time, and Ja is on a good lap. So we got a couple of good ones going on right now. We'll see who holds it. Herrera right now has the biggest improvement. Currently 6/10 up, which would move him to 5th place, ahead of Professional Hater, which is saying something, because Hater is quite good. Also, I realized I didn't open up. Let's check streaming studio. Start the stage. Nurburgring. We are Nurburgring today. Always forget to set up the stage because I'm running solo, so I always forget that I need to approve additional comms. While I was doing that, we missed some action. Herrera did indeed go 5th quickest. Lucas Geese has got a good lap on here. He put himself up to 3rd. Lost a little bit of time through there. Unfortunately, I saw a little bit of a power slide. These Hondas appear to be going very well in the rain, though. Rude currently on pole and Geese in 4th place. This is not a well BOP car. Generally, I know Evolution Racing Academy has been trying to work on their own BOP, and I appreciate that. Trying to bring some cars to the fore that maybe historically aren't really there, but I kind of feel like the Honda is still one that needs a lot of work in that regard. So I salute Lucas Geese, Adrian Maroon, and so on, the guys who are trying to make it work. Also, the Nissan Revolution is going pretty well. We don't see any right now. But, Geese goes 2nd quickest. It is a Honda 1-2. At least for now. We do have the silvers to come, who will undoubtedly have a say in pole position, but right now it's a Honda world and we are just living in it. Dennis Hook is on a pretty good lap here, a couple 10ths up. This would maybe move him to 7th place. The championship leader is struggling at the moment, though. He is currently the leader in the bronze category. Pardon me, he is not. Hater is Professional Hater. Hater is 1 point up on him. So it's Hater, the newly promoted driver, then Hook, then Bacher, Volt, and Maroon. Maroon looking like he'll probably make a pretty big statement here today based on his pace. Still at the top of the pile. Still about 4/10 up right now for Dennis Hook. Could be an improvement here. Good display stancer from the inside of row 4. Oh, never mind. So he is abandoning the lap. Idris Cahill's 2nd up. The Czech driver is looking to make a move here. Could move into the top 10. Actually, almost certainly would move into the top 10. Also, my laptop is off of live. Can I please fix that? Thank you. Right. Idris Cahill, the former driver of the Lego car. I can't say that I dislike the current livery, but I do miss the Lego car. I'm not going to lie. Sporting a Kiwi Irish car. Excellent. Some kind of unholy alliance of the New Zealanders and the Irish to bring us a BMW M4. Still up 8 tenths. This would be a notable improvement. Would put him 8th quickest. If he can hold it. And he will. Idris Cahill, 8th place. The only person currently on a PB lap is Bakker. We'll see if he can... Wow, he is buried in the doldrums here. He cannot... He does not appear to be having a great time making that Audi work, but he did work his way forward last time. Not much of an improvement right now. He's only about 3 tenths up, which would only put him ahead of Robin. He'd still be behind the top 6 iron cars right now. Someone wants to talk football with me. One of my friends recently picked up fantasy football this season. He's been talking to me a lot about it. Bakker goes 14th quickest on what should be his final lap. Herrera, we have someone in chat cheering for. There you go. Alan Herrera coming to a close. All right, it's just the Silver's turn. Oh, wait. Adam Stewart did not post a lap time. The 64 BMW did not complete a single lap. So maybe pulling the professional hater card this time out. Who of the Silvers is closest to actually doing a lap? It is the number 20 car. That'd be Richard Oakes in the Rust Bucket Porsche. I love this livery. The amount of effort to make a car look so bad. It is to be saluted. I'll give the double salute. There you go. Because that is a thing. The hairpin. Bit of an interesting line on entry there. See if it works out for him. Heading through the Schumacher S. The Schumacher S is in the weather. I'm pretty much going to guarantee that we're going to see some action. By action, I mean mistakes. By mistakes, I mean death. There's the Warsteiner curve. Advin Bogan. No idea if this is a good lap or not. It's just going to be the first lap for the silver category. That's why we're rocking with it. To the Coca-Cola. Shergill's on a lap right now. Slater. Hey, David Slater's back. We'll miss him in chat, but it's good to see him back on the chat. And Oaks goes 2nd quickest. So that's solid. Who's next? The 474 we're not going to really catch. So the 74. Or was it 73? Might have been 73. Yeah, 73. David Slater coming to the line in the Ferrari. And he goes 14th quickest. Pole position has changed hands. The 888 car of John Spriggs and the 988 of L. Perry. Now on the front row. Here comes Aaron Shergill. Canadian representation. And that's going to be good enough for 17th. They'll want more. They'll want more. He's on a banger. Milestone in the Nissan, currently on a pretty good lap. This should carry him up to about 5th place. which at least will put him clear of all but the non-silver pole sitter, Adrian Marud. Also on a pretty decent lap is the other Nissan of Matt Gale. Seven tenths up now. The Advent Bogan into the final section here. Oh, the NGK, that is out of shape. He still held it, though. He lost about 4 tenths, unfortunately. So it's not going to be a great lap. Oh, wait. He did have a great run through Coca-Cola, though. This is still going to be a pretty decent lap, despite the massive, the tank slapper. 5th quickest. Let's see what Matt Gale can do. The Gale Force Nissan is currently 8, almost 9 tenths up. This would be enough to put him in 4th place. Marud. By the way, Marud's still up there with the silvers. Even the silvers are having a hard time matching his 202.617. So, a little applause for getting the job done. Goes 3rd quickest. Kevin Shepard's up about 8 tenths. This should be a pretty big jump for him. Into 6th place in the Ashcroft Racing Ferrari. We also got a pretty big banger here for El Perry. This would be pole position for the Nissan if he can hold it. Currently about 4 tenths up. Now, in fairness, John Spriggs in the 8.8 BMW is also on a good lap, looking to beat his own pole time. But not by enough to save it, to be honest. At the moment, this would be pole for Perry, which would be a heck of a comeback race. Zolder, pardon me, was not kind to the Stealth Bomber 988 Nissan. It was a rough time. And we will see if this is a little bit kinder. I've always had good luck with the Nissan in the wet. Just feels like a car that intrinsically can handle the wet weather conditions. It's maybe the beauties of Japanese engineering. Well, he's lost a little bit of time. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. And he falls 1/100th of a second short of pole position, which John Spriggs is gonna better by 8 thousandths of a second. Currently about a second up is Nelson Ambrazosa. Ferrari is making waves. This would take him to probably about 7th place, around where right now Jack Biddell is. Biddell, a podium finisher at Zolder, despite having really not the pace of a podium finisher. Just had a really solid, consistent day. So, he's looking for more of the same here today. That'll probably serve him well. Ambrazosa goes 9th with this. Don't see anyone right now threatening pole. By the way, Mida and Jardine have yet to take to the track. So we may have 2 silvers starting for the pit lane. Thomas Hagen, who had a series of unfortunate events at Zolder, which robbed him of, I thought, a very, very solid run in the Mustang. He's currently running 4 tenths up. Also a good lap going on for right now for Richard Oakes. This could be pole. Richard Oakes has got a potential pole lap here as he heads through Advent Bogan. And then towards the NGK chicane. He's just got to ace the chicane and then handle Coca-Cola curve, and he will be on pole. Time running down here. Coming around the final corner. Into the final straightaway. He's 7 tenths up. This would be pole, according to the ACC Race Control. And it is. Richard Oakes, puts the rust bucket on pole with very little time left. Can anyone take it from him? I don't see anybody who looks like they can right now. There is a notably improved lap going on here for Thomas Hagen, but he's down in 15th place, so even though he's a second up on his lap time, it would only be enough to put him up into maybe 8th place. Maybe 7th place could displace Miles Stone, perhaps. By the way, Adrian Maroux right now is going to start on row 3. So a hell of an effort for the bronze driver in the Honda. Phenomenal work. Hagen's still a second up. Coming to the line. And he will jump up into 6th place. Actually, a little bit better than I expected. A couple of cars still have lap times to hit the post. Kevin Shepard's out there. Cedric Muir's still out there. There's also Biddle. There's Miles Stone. Miles Stone's about 3/10 up right now. Oh no, he's got the checkered flag. So he's done. The last hope, I think, would be Cedric Muir, but he's coming to the line here with a 4/10 improvement, which, you know, will jump him into 11th place. But, that will not be good enough. Stone finishes up. The last lap will belong to the number 818 Honda of Jack Biddle. And he is going to... Okay, so Mida has to start in the pit lane. Okay. So that's why he didn't leave the pits. Not sure why Samuel Jardine and also newcomer, I'm sorry, I don't know the first name, Altenberg. Oh wait, he did qualify. Just qualified way down. Also, no qualifying from Adam Stewart. Also, Shanu Murasanu did not qualify. I think that was a technical difficulty because I did not notice that that he did not qualify when the bronzes were actually on track. So I think that maybe there was a technical difficulty for that particular driver. All right, grid positions, everybody. Actually, I'll wait for the session to flip over, because I will briefly lose this data when the changeover occurs. So there's no sense in doing it right now. Nissan's in 3rd and 5th, RC. Solid effort. There's 1 and 8th as well. And that is probably the fastest of the bunch, Miles Stone, at least historically speaking. But the wet makes this all a little bit different. There are some definite specialists. It seems like Richard Oakes is being labeled as a moisture specialist in chat. So I'm not sure if that's a one-time deal or if he's historically been quick in the wet. We'll find out, obviously, as time goes on. But the number 20 Porsche does have the pole position. There we go.
Alright, there is some rain in this session, so watch out for slippery curves and remember to brake.
Saying there's some rain in this session is an understatement, Race Control. Alright, the grid. Richard Oakes and John Spriggs will start on row 1. El Perry and Audrey Gottschlick on row 2. Matt Gale, Thomas Hagen, row 3. The pole sitter for the bronze category, Adrian Maroux, will start inside row 4 with Miles Stone. Jack Biddle and Nelson Ambrazosa, row 5. Cedric Muir and Kevin Shepard, row 6. Lucas Geese and Robert Volt, row 7. Row 8 will belong to Oral Jha and Alan Herrera. Row 9, Kerry Pattenden and Professional Hater. Row 10, usually he's in chat. He's not today. David Slater and Chris Stancer. Oscar Altenberg will start with Idris Cahill on row 11. Row 12, Aaron Shergill and Dennis Hook. The pole sitter for the iron category, Brandon Harvey, will start with Tobias Wagner on row 13. Matthias Wiedemann and Andreas Hansen, row 14. Jeffrey Backer, Felix Kramerich on row 15. Row 16, Ron Morley and Atos Rahman. On row 17, Matthew East and Bo Zur. Nathan Gray and Kieran Rolfe, row 18. Row 19, Philip Sully and Sean Young. Row 20, Christian Lems and Ari Venter. And then it is the pit stop, or the pit lane starters, presumably, Sahil Kitmida, Adam Stewart, Samuel Jardine, and Shanu Mursanu. None of them put up a lap time. Presumably, we know that Mida has to start for the pits. We don't know about the Covenant. Weird seeing Jardine here in a Honda. $44-car field. Pretty big. Pretty big. Chad, if there's anyone you particularly want to ride with at the start, please let me know. It's always just a bit of a crapshoot. Where is the action going to kick off? I don't know. I don't know. Could be at the front, could be at the back, could be in the middle, could be everywhere. I don't know. Especially in the wet. Everywhere does seem like a kind of possibility. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see what happens. All right, we have a request to keep an eye on Miles Stone. We will do so. The American starts his Nissan from 8th place. Comes in today second in the championship. He does have a penalty. So does championship leader John Spriggs. Robert Volt also sitting on a penalty, as well as Professional Hater. Big one for Volt there. Just out of curiosity, who else is sitting on penalties? Oh, there we go. Mida's sitting on a drive-through. Adam Stewart, 15-second penalty. Oh, my Lord. Atos Ramen, what did you do at Zolder to get you a 45-second penalty? Holy crap. Gentlemen, the behavior. But the worst of the lot will be Slava Mida, who had a really, really good start to the Zolder round, like a fantastic start, and things went to hell in a handbasket for him. Or her, I actually don't know the gender on this real name. Not really familiar with the Indian naming conventions a lot. Went to school with a couple. Also, the ones that I did kind of taught me that there was like a great deal of unisex naming. So I don't know. Back to Milestone, since that was the request. We will keep an eye on the Nissan for the early going. Los Patos Romanos car. I do like that Aston Martin. Robert Volt. Light delivery, Robert. It's looking sharp. So Richard Oakes and El Perry have a pretty good advantage today. The car starting between them has a penalty that has to be served at the pit stop. For those who are unaware of the regulations here, this will be a one pit stop race. Mandatory. You can obviously take as many pit stops as you want, but there is one mandatory pit stop that is required, and we will see that happen probably sometime around 30 minutes into the race. Probably anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes into the race, I would say, is probably the plans. There will be possibly some earlier pit stops due to damage that may come into play. So, I would hope that people aren't planning on Miles. Mr. Milestone. Miles? Miles? What's going on here? The grid is confused. The grid is confused. Alright, he's moving again. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Just stopping on the formation lap. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He'll be racing to try to get back to his spot in the pecking order here. Richard Oakes will lead us to the green flag. Championship leader John Spriggs on his tail. Again, the championship leaders at this point in the season in the silver category, John Spriggs, Dennis Professional Hater in the bronze category, and in the iron category it is Matthias Wiedemann. They are all here today looking to try to extend that lead. Milestone found his way back to the right spot in the pecking order. I'm looking for him. I'm still looking for him. He's in the... Oh, I think he's in the pits. Oh, boy. Okay, well, we're not going to be following him for the start. Not sure what has happened to him. But he is in the pit lane. Richard Oakes will lead us away. On the front row with him, it is the Wise Racing John Spriggs. That team is currently the dominant force in the entire field, honestly, but particularly within the BMW contingent. L. Perry in the Stealth Bomber will start from third. That is the green and black Nissan. And then finally it is Gottschalk in the red and gray Aston Martin who will start fourth. Gale in the second Nissan, and then Thomas Hagen in the Mustang. Here we go. We are ready to kick this pig as we go through the Coca-Cola curve for the final time without the green flag being dropped. It is going to be... I like to try to time these. I never can. I can never get it quite right. It is going to go green. There you go. I kind of got it. Richard Oakes down in the inside of lap one. Matt Gale in the background looking to make a move. Here we go. Oakes to the front to the first corner. He is probably going to easily hold this against John Spriggs. L. Perry in the mix still there as well. Third place. Somebody a little bit off there, I saw. Lots of people being juggled around right now. A couple of people really juggling around. There's a lot of movement going on, but it is Richard Oakes leading the way. By the way, he's shown his third place on my screen because of Mida being shown in the lead, but that is not correct. John Spriggs in second. L. Perry, then Gottschalk, and Professional Hater is up into sixth place. He has had a phenomenal start in the Mustang. He is up a huge number of places. Professional Hater, assuming you didn't get a penalty. That is a phenomenal start up into sixth place. Alan Herrera is also off to a great start, along with Oral Jha. They are up into seventh and eighth place. Oscar Altenberg also had a really good start. He is up a couple of spots and running in the top 10. Jeffrey Bacher has had a phenomenal start as well. Into the pit lane comes Felix Kramaric. So something has happened to the Croatian driver. I'm just going to let the timing screen kind of sort itself out here. There's people all over the place because of the pit lane starters and so on. There's a yellow flag further back as somebody's off the track. As you can see, Kramaric is shown in the lead, which is not the case. Stop go penalty has already been handed out to Slava Mida. Sahil Mida, pardon me. Sahil Mida. With a stop go 30-second penalty, that'll be speeding in the pit lane. Richard Oakes is the leader as we hit the third timing zone. Spriggs, Perry. They're kind of getting away. Gottschalk is kind of a far distance fourth place with Professional Hate on the tail, followed by Herrera, Jha, Altenberg, Bacher, and Hook. Patton in 11th. Shergill. Biddle had a bad start. Slater, Cahill, Jardines had a phenomenal first lap. Matt Gales had a terrible time down to 17th. Ron Morley, Adam Stewart's up a couple spots. Bozer, Sully, I forgot your first name, my apologies. Matthew East and Lucas Keese on your screen right now. Kramaric is in the pit lane. Have we lost anybody? Nope, everybody's still running. Brandon Harvey is classified dead last, so something has happened there. But Richard Oakes with the lead early on. Matt Gale going side by side with that is the Honda of Samuel Jardine. By the way, Samuel Jardine and Lucas Keese, you guys are running the same livery. I hope your teammates, and I hope you're sharing the data that fits that. There is some damage to Gale's car. You can see the open bonnet signifying some front end damage for Nissan. Jack Biddle is in the pit lane. Kerry Patton looking to put some pressure on Bacher, and right behind him is Sturgill. So the Canadian trying to come through the field here in the incumbent weather in the Ferrari. The Lamborghini of Kerry Patton trying to charge forward as well. And Bacher in the lone Audi is trying to hang on to that 10th place position. He's lost out to Dennis Hook already this lap. And obviously would like not to have that happen in the future. Gale going side by side with the Honda of Jardine. And he will take that position away from Jardine for the time being. Also moving up was Ron Morley. Picked up a spot there over Idris Cahill. Cahill under pressure from Adam Stewart. Adam Stewart carving his way through the field, having not qualified and having to start from the back of the pack. It has worked out for him. He's up into 18th place right now. He was a championship contender in the bronze category last season, and he would love to be once again. Further up, Jardine going side by side again with Gale. Gale is carrying that damage, and I wonder if that's affecting him on the straight lines, because it seems like that Honda is able to kind of gobble him up at the full. No! Whoa! Jardine off the track and spins out. He takes Gale with him. He also took out one of the Lamborghinis. I believe that was Bo Zur, the green Lamborghini, the 130 car. It is. Horrible pileup. Jeffrey Bacher is in the pit lane. I don't know why. Could be a chance to just kind of like get out of the chaos, get out of the monstrosity here. Things are rough out there right this second. Aaron Shergill on the tail of Kerry Patton. This is now for 10th place with Bacher's pit stop. If there's anyone else in the pits, it's just Bacher. Matthew East looking to put on a good show here in the wet. Putting the pressure on Sully with Stancer in behind him. Stancer's had a terrible first lap. Qualified pretty well, actually. And it's fallen quite a ways down. Ambrazosa's also had a rough time. And Ambrazosa getting physical with Stancer. That, I don't know, that looked like a penalty to me. We didn't get a great look at it, but Ambrazosa might be staring at a penalty. That is Lucas Geese and Adam Stewart in behind him, as well as the Mustang of Thomas Hagen. Hagen's had a terrible opening in this race. Qualified up on the third row and is now running in 21st. That is a rough time. Actually falling back even further. Now down to 28th. Oh boy. Pit stops for Jardine and Midda. Midda in to serve a stop-go penalty. Jardine in for schedule. Well, I don't want to say schedule because I imagine nobody is scheduled at this point. By the way, Gottschalk is caught up to El Berry. Not so much because of his driving, but because I think Berry's made a mistake. He's fallen 5 seconds off the battle. And that is still Professional Hater in 5th place. He is... Oh! The spin! The spin! The caster's curse for Professional Hater. Spinning out. Dropping through the field. Going side by side with Dennis Hook in the 911 BMW. He'll hang on. Robert Volt just got past Idris Cahill. Volt's carried some damage. A number of cars I'm seeing with front end damage. Matthew East falling back a little bit. He'll lose this spot to, that's Adam Stewart around the outside. Also Lucas Geese in the mix there in the yellow Honda. And that is the 16th place car of, I think, Sully up ahead of him. Pick something up. Oh, there you go. And I'm back. I have a bad lower back, so anytime I have to bend over, things are like, things are fun. We'll go with that. Can I stick with this battle here? Because this is the battle that seems to be have the heat on it right now. Nice and close between Sully, Stewart, East, and Geese. Not too far back is also Kevin Shepard, who I think is probably a little bit faster than these guys in the 41 Ferrari. I can see him catching up and making this even a bigger fight. There he is in the background, that dark colored Ferrari. That is Kevin Shepard. Hansen putting the pressure on Nathan Gray. Andres Hansen's sporting the Mercedes AMG. Not a lot of Mercedes AMGs in the field, which is weird because I think it's a perfectly well BM car. Just seems to be not a fan of things. Adam Stewart has made an overtake on Sully. Let's see if we can get a look at that with a 15-second play. We can. All right, excellent. The replay worked it out for us for a change. Just kind of drives down the inside. Sully does not make that terribly hard for the agitation game. Maybe realizing that he is an iron driver. This is not really his fight. But personally, I'd be fighting a little bit here. This is fun. This is a chance to beat some guys that are a higher level than you just because of the wet weather conditions can definitely favor your car, your driving style. You know, it's the great equalizer. There are some people I've met that are like not especially good drivers, but they can make it happen in the rain as Lucas Geese makes an overtake with Matthew Geese there. And Kevin Shepard also doing it as well. Good to have Lucas Geese back in the field. Welcome back, Lucas. The number 15 Honda has been missed. He had some fantastic performances last season. Just kind of, I don't know, he's kind of the guy who's just kind of like randomly pops up. You don't even really see it coming. And suddenly, there he is, having a good day, having a good result. It would be nice to see that happen again here today. Alan Herrera has fallen a number of spots back. Let's see if we can see what happened. Looks like he kind of just came to a stop on the track. So sorry to I think it was Toko, but I cannot really tell you what happened there with Alan Herrera. He just kind of stopped on track. Has fallen out of the top 10 as a result. Back at the front, John Spriggs putting the pressure on the rust bucket car of Richard Oakes. They're navigating their way through some traffic with some early pit stoppers and so on. That is a Honda, so kind of header. I am going to guess that it might be Samuel Jardine. Could also be Adrian Maroon, who had a great qualifying. But is now listed in 43rd and last place. By the way, we lost a car. I'll be honest, I cannot tell you who we lost because, well, there's just too many cars. I'm sorry. Shanu Murasanu started from the pit lane, trying to make his way up in the Bentley. The Bentley handles the wet pretty well. It'll be interesting to see what he can do. Going side by side with that is Nathan Gray in the Beamer, which I thought was a broken livery to me. Now I'm just realizing it might just be a very, very plain. Oh, that's just damage. It is a broken livery. Okay. The overtake for the Boatley is made. I mean, it's a Boatley. It's got to be good in the wet, right? Brandon Harvey, good spot. So hang on, let's see here. Who's served their pit stops? Maroon's been in, Gale's been in, Jardine's been in, Muir's been in, Biddle's been in, and Bacher. Bacher is the top running of that group. Lozer has also been. Morley battling with Cahill. Also in this fight is Ambrazosa in the Ferrari. Gottschalk is taking third place off of the top. Oh, Ambrazosa! That was always going to close. That was always going to close. Nelson Ambrazosa contact with Idris Cahill. That was not good. That was frustration, I think. Aaron Shergill picks up a spot on Dennis Hook. Pick up at 8th place. Looks like Hook maybe made a mistake. More so than that being an overtake. Just judging by the gap. Adam Stewart up on Cahill. Cahill didn't lose a lot of positions, actually, for that contact, so good recovery by Idris. Adam showing some damage, but electing to charge on without a pit stop. By the way, Professional Hater is still up in 6th place. Having a phenomenal race, as is Oral Ja. Aaron Shergill is on a charge. He's been making some good ground up. Next on his list is Altenberg, who had an amazing first lap and is Still hanging around in the top 10 despite having qualified, I want to say like 24th or something, which is insane. Phenomenal race for the McLaren drivers so far. And the pace is not bad, to be clear. Best lap's a 2:04.5. Professional Hater overtaking Oral Shah. Let's get a replay of that. Go. Shaw in the red Ferrari. The Mustang. The powerhouse. The Professional Hater. And that's what a clean version of the move that Ambrazosa tried to pull on Cahill looks like. Essentially. Gary Patton on the tail of Dennis Hook. And Sir Gill on the tail of Altenberg. Altenberg also on the tail of Ja. So Ja, who was in 5th place, might be moving backwards at a very rapid rate of knots here. Sir Gill going side by side, Ferrari v McLaren. How many times at F1 have I said that? Dennis Hook trying to go around the outside! I think that was more of an evasion than anything else. Patton in the mix. Herrera's back in the top 10 as somebody's dropping through the order. It's a pit stop. El Perry is in the pits. Hitting from 4th place, so everybody is moving up a spot. With the exception of Gottschalk, Spriggs, and Oates. Sergil with a bold move around the outside of Altenberg into 6th place. We are seeing some aggressive driving, and some of it's been ill-advised, but some of it has come off just absolutely kind of beautiful. It's Oates from Spriggs, Gottschalk, Hader, Ja, Shergill, Altenberg, Hook, Patton, and Herrera. Your top 10. Your top 3 in the silver is just the top 3 overall. Your top 3 in the bronze is Hader, Ja, and Hook. Your top 3 in the iron is Ron Morley, Brandon Harvey, and Nathan Gray. Having a really solid day. Championship leader Matthias Wiedemann runs in 4th place in the iron category. Herrera putting the pressure on Patton. He says, you know what? I don't care that you're a silver driver. I was in the top 10. I had a problem, and I'd like to be further into the top 10, please. I don't care if I'm a bronze driver. I don't care if I'm not supposed to be here. I'm gonna be here. Actually, the bronzes are having a great day for them in the top 10. Like, Herrera is having a fantastic day by any bronze driver's standards. And he's only in 4th place in the bronze category. Oh, this could be messy. Altenberg getting shuffled backwards. Oh, somebody is sideways on the track. That is Kerry Patton. Kerry Patton goes sideways. Let's see what happened. It was just off my screen. He was looking to make a move down the inside of Dennis Hook. And his Altenberg turns in on him. Oh, I understand it from Altenberg's point of view. I get it. I don't think he knew he was there. But that is still going to be on Altenberg. As a bit of, I don't want to say dirty driving, because that implies like intentionality. That implies a motive that is not on the table. But he did turn in on Kerry Patton. So that's all I'm saying. Big winner out of that was Herrera, who suddenly finds himself going up from 10th to 7th because of Altenberg's contact. And also he bagged Dennis Hook. Hook bags Altenberg, moves up into 8th place. Further back, Wiedemann maybe overtook Nathan Gray. Let's have a look. Looks like we're just going to miss that. Looks like it was just down the inside. BMW on BMW action. Gray is carrying damage. Altenberg is not. Pardon me, not Altenberg. Wiedemann is not. Wiedemann is also a little bit more of an accomplished driver in the field. Like I said, the Iron Championship leader at the moment. And Robbins in the pits, dropping back as well as El Perry has not left the pits. Or he's in the pits again. That is not a good sign. I have bad news for the Nissan fan contingent in the chat. It's not looking good. David Slater is on the tail of Kerry Pattinen, and he is bringing Robert Bolt with him in the Aston Martin. Battle for 10th, 11th, and 12th. And actually, there's somebody not too... Oh, that's Herrera. Herrera once again slowing and falling backwards. What is up? Hang on, I'm getting a replay this time. I am getting a replay. What happened here? He just pulls to the side of the road. Alan Herrera, if you can hear the sound of my voice, which you probably can't right now because you're in the car, but if anybody wants to inform Alan we got questions in the commentary booth, please let him know, because this is the second time he's just kind of come to a stop and fallen out of the top 10 as a result. It's very weird. It's kind of bizarre. Oh, Idris Cahill and Lucas Geese getting into it. It looked like Cahill had already lost it. What happened there? Let's see here. Cahill versus Geese. Beamer versus Honda. Okay, it is contact. Okay. He just kind of came in at a weird time there. Ended up riding him out with the secondary contact there. Thomas Hagen trying to make a comeback through the field. He's moving up slowly. Matthew East is next on his list. By the way, Matthew East got me pretty good. For a guy who has struggled historically with car control and track limits and stuff, it's good to see him up in 18th place here at the lane in these inclement conditions, ahead of some very good drivers. Although I may have just cast your curse down there. Yeah, I did. He went way too deep in that corner. And Thomas Hagen will move on through. Brandon Harvey's next up. We'll see. Robert Volt on the tail of Kerry Patton in battle for 9th place. Suddenly this has become a top 10 battle. There are, of course, some pit stops to sort out. Notably, who's pitted that I'm expecting to come out here the front. Really nobody, actually, because Locker is still the top pitted car. Like, Perry was in the mix, but we've lost El Perry. We have lost El Perry from the festivities. So the Nissan contingent is taking a beating here in that regard. Milestone also having a terrible day. Matthias Wiedemann dropping backwards through the field. And it looks like he's got some damage. Overtaken there by, I'm not sure who that is, because it looks like that's Lucas Geese. He's not listed as in front of him. It looks like it was more than 15 seconds ago. Some kind of contact, I assume, with the wall. Let's see, contact with the car. Lucas Geese on the tail of Idris Cahill. We saw these two come to blows before, but Geese kind of settled Cahill with a secondary contact. Max hopes to be at the next race. Go Herrera. Let's go Herrera. A lot of fandom for Herrera. You guys need to ask him why he keeps slowing down. Because on 2 occasions he's dropped out of the top 10 for... I have no reason. I have no idea what's going on. He is the mystery driver right now. Of like, what's going on here? Gotchling fell back a fair bit. What happened? Let's get a look. Has this happened like a while ago and I'm just realizing it now? Okay, so that's a lapped car, I do believe. No, that's Oral Jha. Okay, he's already fallen back at this point. I don't know what happened. He was in 3rd place. Anyways, moves back into 5th. Next on his list would be Aaron Shergill, who's having a phenomenal race, despite having kind of been nowhere in qualifying. Currently running in 4th. Geese versus Cahill is still our hottest battle on track. There's a couple other. Amberzosa and Wolf is kicking off. Milestone. Oh, hang on. Chris Dancer is leading a bit of a train here. He's got Sean Young on his tail in the Porsche, followed by Milestone in the Nissan and the Boatley of Murasanu, who hits the pit lane. Back at the front, we still got a good battle going on. John Spriggs on the tail of Richard Oakes. If you're wondering what the MOL for John Spriggs is, that he uses as his short form in the windshield there, that is Mole. Calls himself Mole. Somebody hitting the pits there, that is... I don't know. Oh, it's Rolf. Kieran Rolf hitting the pits. The green Lambo there is not in battle for the lead. That is the Lamborghini of Beau Zur. Is actually in position to have a pretty reasonable run here, if you keep it clean. Robert Volt on the tail of Oscar Altenberg. Dubs racing Aston Martin. All over the back end of the surprisingly running McLaren. By surprisingly, I mean that Altenberg seemed to be absolutely nowhere in qualifying and has been in the top 10 like the entire race. It's weird though, because he keeps getting overtaken and then people in front of him just F up. Like it's very weird. I don't know how to describe his race. There's a couple of drivers right now that I just don't know how to describe what they're doing. Kerry Patton in this. And he is one of them. Alan Herrera is another one. Where it's just I don't know how to make sense of the race that they're having. Lucas Geese still on the tail of Idris Cahill. These two have been joined at the hip, battling over what is now 15th place for some time. And Geese is going to hit Cahill again and right him again. And it feels like we had a replay. It feels like that's a replay of an earlier contact. It's too bad. It's weird. Adam Stewart's having a fairly solid race here today. He's on the tail of Ron Morley, who is the Iron leader. Ron Morley having a phenomenal day, by the way. An Iron car running up in 11th place. I know there's some pit stops, like, assisting that, but, like, there's not that many. Like, if we pull up the pit stop meter here, like, Bacher in 28th place, who was, like, fringe top 10, is the number one pit stopper. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Ambrazosa down actually really is not a factor for, like, the top 20. Like, I think Bacher in middle will be. But that's, like, kind of it, as Thomas Hagen overtakes Idris Cahill. Appears to have maybe had an incident with, another incident with Lucas Geese. Yeah. Replay didn't go back far enough. He will not know. The Nissans aggressively taking those turns. The Nissans have had a terrible day. We've lost L. Perry, Gale, and Stone have been mired in. Just not doing very well. In a nutshell. Robert Volt versus Dennis Hook. This is a battle for third place in the bronze category. It is a key battle in the championship. Volt went down to the wire last season for losing out on the championship to Jesse Bacher. Not Jesse. Jeffrey Bacher. Jesse Bacher is a hockey player. I've told Jeffrey that that's going to happen all season long. It happened all season last season. It's going to happen all season this season. It's going to happen next season. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm trying. I really am. I know you don't believe it, but I'm trying. But anyways, I expect these two cars to be in the championship battle. Professional Hater right now is dominant. Sir Gill dropping back through the order. I wonder what happened to the Ferrari. Just kind of loses the back end through Dunlop. It's a reasonably clean rejoin. Little sloppy still, but reasonably clean. Drops down to 6th place, losing out to Gottschalk and Shaw. Adam Stewart has indeed made the move on Iron leader Ron Morley. See if we can get that on screen here for people. Oh, Morley just went off the track. Never mind. Never mind. Nearly as interesting as expected. It's actually a Honda going past him. It is Lucas Geese. Hook into the pit lane. This is Wagner. In a battle with Biddle. Biddle just overtook him and has made his pit stop, so if I was Wagner, I wouldn't really be looking at a fight here. Chris Stancer in the pit lane, by the way. Down through the order. Also in is Kevin Shepard and David Slater. So, a couple of fairly important pit stops going on right now. Nothing really hot going on track right now. The closest gap that doesn't involve a pit stop is this one right here, between Matthias Wiedemann and Nathan Ray. Ray is the BMW in front. That is a lapped car that they're overtaking. KPR, I'm not sure who that is. Know it's a McLaren. It's not one that they are battling with. I think it's Rolf. Kieran Rolf would make most sense. Brandon Harvey is within striking distance of Thomas Hagen, I suppose. There's Hagen in Mustang, there's Harvey in BMW. But this is a silver versus iron fight. I don't expect it to kick off too hard. Somebody off the track up ahead. Not rejoined. I'm trying to look at who it might be. I don't see anybody who's dropping appropriately outside of guys in the pits. Hayter, Volt, and Altenberg, by the way, in the pits. That's 3 members of the top 10. Wagner in, Miles Stone in as well. So the pit lane is fairly busy right now. Quite a few cars yet to pit. Looks like about 7, looks like 14 maybe? Down to Venter. Venter, Hansen, Wiedemann, Gray, East, Harvey, Hagen, Stewart, Herrera, Shergill, Jaw, Gottschalk, Springs, and Oaks into it. Matt Gale in the Nissan catching up with Chris Stancer. Also yet to serve a pit stop are Rahman and Kramerich, whose days have been quite rough. We've lost another car at some point. I'm not sure who. Oh, I believe that was El Perry we lost. So we lost El Perry, and I do not know who the first car we lost was. We were 44, we're now down to 42. Apologies to whoever it is. I'm not remembering you. You are feel free to. Oh, Ron Morley, stop-go penalty. Speeding in the pit lane for the Iron Leader. Although not at the moment because he pitted. The Iron Leader on track is Brandon Harvey. He is yet to pit. That being said, that stop-go penalty, that might end the hopes for Ron Morley taking home the Iron victory today. He will undoubtedly drop through the order somewhat because of that. Richard Oakes is in the pits. So is Spriggs, Gottschalk, and Jaw. That means that the new leader, at least for the time being, is Aaron Shergill in the 213 Ferrari. by virtue of having stayed out as one of the late runners, not the only one. Adam Stewart's still out there, Thomas Hagen, Brandon Harvey, Matthew East, Nathan Gray, Venter, whose first name I have forgotten, apologies, are still out there. And Oaks has come out ahead of Spriggs. There was really no threat of Spriggs overtaking Richard Oaks. He had a penalty and Oaks did not, so the pit stop was only going to serve to lengthen between the two. Jack Biddle is putting the pressure on Bacher. Honda versus Audi. There's a couple other pit stoppers go in. Thomas Hagen and Brandon Harvey. Venter in the pits. And Biddle goes down the inside. To take the spot. Nope. And then loses control of the car. Loses control of the car. Gale's still on the tail of Chris Stancer. I'm surprised he hasn't made more inroads into his battle here. Gale qualified in 5th place. It was looking like a great day for the San Army. And along with Milestone and El Perry, he has let the brand down. He will have to answer for this. Still yet to pit, Shergill, Stewart, Harvey, and Nathan Gray. As well as possibly Kramerich down in the order there. Still have a pit stop, I suppose. There was somebody else who... Yeah, Robin. Richard Oaks is caught up to Adam Stewart. This is not working out in his favor. He's just going to lose ground to the teammate, actually, of Oaks, or of Stewart, because Stewart and Spriggs are teammates at Wise Racing. I am not certain why Stewart has gone this long. He's been carrying damage for a very, very, very long time. If I were him, I would have already been in the pits as somebody was off the side of the road there. Nathan Gray pits. And a drive-through for Oral Ja. That is a big deal. Ja was in a battle for possibly a class win. Not class. Divisional win. Oh! Stewart is being defensive. He knows he can help John Spriggs get the victory. He will build that wall. He will deny. It's not doing his own race any favors, but little team play never hurt anybody. Well, okay. It hurt people who are not on the team. But Richard Oaks is losing time. He really needs to hope that Stewart, 1, makes a mistake, or 2, just elects to pit and get out of the way. He is defending very solidly right now. We're going to stick with this for the bit. Robert Bolt, Jeffrey Bacher, and Kevin Shepard are having a battle as well. I'd love to get a look at that as well. This is the important fight. This could determine the lead of the race. You do not see John Spriggs in the shot. That's because he's about 7 seconds behind. So, like, he's got a long way to give up. But, like, for example, you see that gap right now that is at 6.8. My live timing has it down to 5 seconds. So Adam Stewart is buying John Spriggs time here by staying out in 2nd place and denying the actual race leader, who finally will get through in turn 1. Stewart's not done. He's going to try and force the issue into Mercedes Arena. But I think he is overtaken. He gave it his all, and the Wise Racing team needs to give a big round of applause for Adam Stewart for holding up the leader and buying some time. John Spriggs still got some work to do, but like he's in a better spot than he was before. Robert Volt battling with Kevin Shepard and with Jeffrey Bacher over 11th place. This will be a top 10 because Stewart's going to drop behind them and Harvey's going to drop behind them then. So this is at least 9th place. And as far as the bronzes are concerned, I think it's a podium. Because it's, no, it's not. Herrera's the last podium. So this is 4th place in the bronze category. Behind, Hayter, Hook, and Herrera. Triple H podium. Paul Levesque would be proud. Walker hanging on. Shepard in the mix. The 4th car in this order is not in this fight. It is a lapped car. That is one of the Nissans. I think that's Milestone? I believe that's Milestone, who is lapped. Which I did not expect to say at the beginning of this race. Milestone was looking like at least a top 10 contender. By the way, Shergill is into the pits. I would normally check out where he's going to come out, but he's not going to battle for the lead. And I really do not know where to make him. He's going to be in the top 10 somewhere. I imagine somewhere around Hayter Hook, probably. That would be my guess. We might as well. Hang on. We'll do our usual pit lane match here. All right, so the map. We're looking for Hayter, which is the 992, and Hook, which is the 911. The 992 is heading through the NGK chicane right now. The 911 is basically about a turn behind, heading towards the NGK chicane right now. We'll see where the 213 comes out here. Aaron Shergill. Brandon Harvey and Adam Stewart also in the pits. By the way, Hayter might be on for a podium, and I don't mean a division podium. I mean a podium. This is stunning. Hayter does overtake. Shergill is going to, I think, rejoin ahead of Hook. There's Hook in the BMW, and he will. Wow. Guys, we might be looking at a legitimate bronze drive to a podium here today. That would be a thing. Professional Hayter. All the bronze drivers in the world salute you, sir. This has been an impressive performance by the 992. And a win here today, having already won at Zolder, would be a huge deal as far as the Bronze Championship is concerned. I did not think Hayter was going to be a factor in this championship. It wasn't a matter of the speed. I trusted the speed. I understood the speed that he brings to the table. I questioned the consistency. I questioned the ability to bring it under for an entire race. And here we are in the wet, staring at a podium. Not a division podium. A proper, full-on podium as Cedric Mira is looking to get past Matthias Wiedemann here. That is a lapped car up ahead of them. In the paint splash BMW. I'm not sure who that is. The livery does not ring a bell. It could be Ramen, it could be Venter, it could be... Well, really it's either Ramen or Venter. I think it's Ramen up ahead. And I know Ramen has had some issues with blue flags in the past, but he is navigating without issue this time. Robert Volt on the tail of Jeffrey Bacher. He's been on the tail of Jeffrey Bacher for a hot minute. Bacher does not have the pace here today, but he is defending like a madman. There's contact at the NGK chicane. Bacher stays ahead, but I don't know. That might be on him. That might be on him. It was a bit of a late lunge by the Audi to try to defend against the Aston Martin. But for now, there is no remedy. Next closest battle is this one between Matthew East, who goes off the track, and Shannon Murisanu. But I think now Now the battle is between Matthew East and Idris Cahill instead. Cahill looking down the inside to turn 1. BMW on BMW action. And the overtake is going to be there for Cahill. He's up in a 19th position. Stancer on the tail of Nathan Gray. Nathan, you gotta get me that livery, my man. You gotta get yourself right in the skin pack. I don't like these carbon cars running around here. I don't like it. I don't like it. You're on stream. Show off what you got. You're gonna run a custom livery. Like, run the custom livery, guys. Come on. You want it to be seen. Otherwise, what's the point? You don't see it when you're inside the car. It is for outside consumption. Quarter race distance to go. And Robert Volt has it overtaken Bacher. Let's see here. Looks like Bacher just made a mistake. Yeah. Got it wrong, headed into the, I'm always forgetting the name, the Michelin curve. Yeah, from Steiner, the Aston Martin takes advantage and goes ahead. Positional roundup. Richard Oates leads from John Spriggs, Professional Hater, Aaron Shergill, Dennis Hook, Audrey Gottschlick, Oscar Altenberg. By the way, Altenberg, solid run. The pace hasn't been there, but you're somehow up in 7th place. Alan Herrera, Kevin Shepard, Robert Volt. That is your top 10. Your top 10 in the top 5 in the silver category is Oates, Spriggs, Shergill, Gottschlick, and Altenberg. Your top 5 in the bronze category is Hater, followed by Hook and Herrera, Triple H, Volt, and Bacher. And in the iron category, it is Brandon Harvey leading from Sean Young, Matthias Wiedemann, Andreas Hansen, and Nathan Gray. We are watching right now defend against Chris Stancer. Lost a third car from the proceedings. It is... Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm sorry, but I am not sure who we've lost. Somebody towards the back, I think. Actually, it might be Miles Stone. I'm not seeing the other Nissan. Where are the Nissans? We have Gale in 25th. Nope, there he is, 33rd place. I'm just not used to seeing Miles Stone that low in the pecking order. Not sure who we've lost. I really do wish that the game would hang on to people who are disconnected from the server and just put the DNF beside them. I mean, that would help. They'll still appear in the log, but not in the live time. Lucas Geese on the attack against Matthew East. Honda versus BMW, battle for 20th place. And a battle within the bronze community. The car in behind them is not impactful. It is a lapped car. One of the Beamers. I think that's Venter. In the Beamer, I think. Middle overtakes Murasanu, but it's because I think Murasanu's off the track. They weren't close together beforehand. And, well, they're falling backwards now. Is the easiest way to put it. Wagner and Hagen battling here. These are two guys that need to take their qualifying performance and turn it into actual results. By the way, Robin, yeah, he is the splash out. I was also saying Venter. Yeah, I was right. Ari Venter is the BMW towards the back of the battle of Geese and East. Geese is now taking the spot. Robert Volt losing out to Brandon Harvey. What happened there? He's lost out to a couple, so he's got to have made a mistake here. That or had an incident in traffic. What happened, Mr. Volt? Too far back to find, or well, not too far back, but beyond the 15-second small review I got. Kevin Shepard's up into the top 10. He's tracking down Oscar Altenberg. That would be a big deal for him. Shepard's a guy I think can do some damage in this series. Running part-time last season was great results for the Ashcroft Racing Ferrari. Seems to be full-time now. Wasn't great at Zolder. Hasn't been particularly spectacular here today, but he has a chance to salvage a pretty solid result if he can get past Altenberg. And maybe go for Gottschalk? Kind of doubt that. Herrera, of course, is a different class, so it's not as important. That would be dealing with Herrera would be about getting to Gottschalk more so than dealing with Herrera. Although Herrera might make that easier for him because he's on the tail of Gottschalk and putting the pressure on him. Gottschalk's early part of the race was very, very solid. But his second half of the race has been problematic to say the least. Championship leaders-wise, Spriggs will remain the silver leader. Wiedemann will remain the iron leader. Hayter will remain the bronze leader. That's not to say that there isn't any action. Brandon Harvey is showing up here today and getting what looks like a victory. Will, of course, be a big deal. And then on top of that, you have, Richard Oakes sticking his nose in there for the silver, perhaps. Things are heating up, even if the three championship leaders have more or less remained. The only division that's not phase for is the bronze division, because Hayter is now going to be 2 for 2, as indeed Shepard does get past Altenberg. So that part of his job is done. I think it's mostly that Altenberg got very, very wide there through the NGK chicane and kind of just gave up the position. So that's 5th place in class for Shepard. Herrera is all over the back end of Gottschalk for 6th place. This is not important for him as far as the championship is concerned. These are not in the same category of car. But there are some massive bragging rights on the table right now. Herrera looking for the move. Ferrari v Aston Martin. Oral Ja, by the way, is charging back up through the order. He's up to 15th place and putting pressure on Kerry Patman. Ja had a drive-through penalty. And honestly, without that, I feel like he would be competing for a podium in the bronze category here today. Alan Herrera looking for a way through. Car in the background is a lapped car. It is not important. Oh! Contact between Gottschalk and Herrera. Can I get a different look at that? I'm not sure what happened there. Does he just get in the back of him? Yeah, he just gets in the back of him. Now, the gentleman's code of racing, which I do not know if it's in effect in any way, would be to get that spot back, but it's also not really an option. Shepard, as you can see in the other Ferrari, has gotten past Gottschalk. And in fact, you would probably also lose a spot to like Altenberg. Oh my, that number 9 car is misbehaving. Something fierce there under blue flags. Who is that? That is Sully. Getting into this battle a little bit too much. I wonder if he thought he was racing Shepard. He is not. I want to be clear on that. He is not racing Herrera, Shepard, Gottschalk, or Altenberg. He needs to get out of there. He is blue flagged. 2 cars off the track. Might have been Matthew East and I think it was Sully. Yeah, it was Sully and Altenberg getting into it. No! Sully! What are we doing, man? Your blue flag behavior for Herrera was like exemplary. And then you go hard on the defense against Shepard. And I'm not going back any more than 30 seconds, I'm sorry. But like it appears that he got into it with Altenberg. And that has not hurt Altenberg all that much. He's still in 9th place. But just wow. You can't do that. Can't do that. That is bad behavior under blue flags. I'm swapped over here to Slater so that we can go live and come back to him. Because he's right on the tail of Bacher. And I want to have a look at that. Brandon Harvey also in the mix here in UW. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to quickly use the bathroom here. I am sorry, but enjoy this battle while I am indisposed. I will mute the microphone.
Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can. finish the race.
My apologies, everyone. Nature did call something fierce, and obviously I have missed a bunch of action here. Richard Oakes, your winner, followed by John Spriggs, Professional Hater, Shergill, Herrera, Shepard, Hook. Gotchlick fell back a little bit more. Altenberg, Bacher, your top 10. Slater, Harvey, Robert Volt, bringing it home in 13th place, ahead of Kerry Pattenden in the Lamborghini. And it will be podium finisher from Zolder, not so great today, Jack Biddle. Coming across the line in 15th place, ahead of Shannon Rosanu. Late overtaking Idris Cahill, bringing it home in 15th place. Cahill 16th. And Oral Shaw, what could have been. Shaw had a good day ahead of him. And then a penalty kind of ruined it. Let's see here. We lost Viviers, Mida, and Perry. Also, looks like we may have lost Ambrazosa while I wasn't looking as well. So yeah, Oakes, Spriggs, Hayter, Shergill, Herrera, Shepard, Hook, Gotchlick, Altenberg, Bacher, Slater, Harvey, Volt. So top fives in the silver: Oakes, Spriggs, Shergill, Shepard, and Gotchlick. In the bronze, it's Hayter, Herrera, and Hook with Bacher and Volt. And in the iron, it's Harvey, followed by Hansen, Wiedemann, Gray, and Sean Young, the reigning champion. No championship leaders will change, I don't think, unless something very bizarre happens. But, yeah. Ah, you press the ignition. All right, so here's my tip for anybody who ever has that problem. My ignition is on my wheelbase. Therefore, I would go nowhere near it during the race. That to me is the best plan. Like, it's down at the buttons at the bottom. The only time I would go, my hand would even be down there, would be during a pit stop. That is the only time. And that way I would never have that problem. But obviously that involves you having buttons on the wheelbase. And maybe you don't. There you go. That's my trips. Anyways, we'll go to the Discord channel and see if anybody wants to have a conversation. Today's winner was a Porsche, so let's try and show off a Porsche in the old showroom here. Do I have a custom Porsche? I do not. We will have to just use an official Porsche for this particular one. Oh, I think I know which one I want. No, it's not in this model. That's the problem. These look kind of cool. Let's see here. Oh, the Roomtronics are pretty good. Yeah, let's do this one. Showroom. Okay, we move to the interview phase of today's stream. I've got a couple of people in the audience. I've got Adam Stewart. I've got Brandon Harvey, our Iron winner. And Adam, you've got your hand up. So let's kick it off with you. Adam Stewart, you valiantly, I think, tried to get your teammate John Spriggs a victory here today, but were unable to do so with your impressive defensive driving against Richard Oakes. Tell us about your race. Nope, he's not responding. This could be a Discord error. We had this last week. Well, I have a microphone.
Working now?
There we go. Problem was on your end this time. That makes me feel better.
Yes, it was. Hey, I was not trying to hold him up. I was trying to be first for at least one lap. And that didn't work out because whoever was in first never pitted until after he had passed me, so I just pitted.
Well, I mean, whether you were trying to do it, you definitely did.
Yeah.
El Perry has sent us a text chat. He lost his sound and it was impossible to continue in the race, so he retired, much to the chagrin of the Nissan cheering section in the chat.
Other than that, I started from the back, and I knew I started from the back on purpose because I didn't want to be in the melee, which obviously I got into right away anyways because of everybody spinning, which stuck me in 19th, and I changed my strategy from that point forward to run long and pit late.
Well, that worked out. You're one of the latest pitters, if not the... You weren't the latest pitter. That was, I think, Shergill. But there might have been also a couple other people who stayed out longer than you. But yeah, you ended up inadvertently, according to you, playing a role of trying to close the gap at the front. And you did by about 2 seconds. That is the amount of time that was lost by Richard Oakes while he was behind you. It turned out not to be enough, of course. But John Spriggs unable to take it home. But Spriggs will be the championship leader. And I'm sure you guys are pretty happy about that. You also got Brandon Harvey winning in the iron category. We'll talk to him in a bit. And yeah, pretty good day for your team.
It was very good day for our team all around. Now, if I could just get my act together, we'd be a little higher in that bronze too.
I don't know.
Did you see who had the fastest lap in bronze?
I did not, I'm afraid. I did not. I'm going to guess it was probably Professional Hater, though.
Cool. All right, that's all I got, man. Thank you.
All right, we invite Brandon Harvey, my pick for the Iron Championship and today's winner. How are you doing, Brandon Harvey, in the 463 BMW?
Good evening. How's it going?
Going good. Missed the last little bit of the race, unfortunately. Had to go to the bathroom. That was not great.
We've all got to have them breaks, though.
It's just very unfortunate timing. Basically although it looks like I left the camera on the right person. David Slater was having a fight with Jeffrey Bacher, and just looking at the results, it doesn't look like anything else kicked off. So at least it looks like the stream still got a decent show.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, I think I done quite a good recovery drive. For some reason, I started from the pits. I don't know if that was error on my end or whatever, but not too sure what happened there. And I had to wait 30 seconds, I believe, after the green flag.
I'm going to guess it was an error on your end. I mean, obviously the administrators can force a pit lane start, but my experience with the Evolution Racing Academy steward admins is they will tell you, they will like yell at you if you're out trying to qualify if you're having to start from the pits. That happened with Slava Mida today, actually. He had to, or not Slava, I keep saying Slava, Shahil Mida. There we go. Had to start from the pit lane, and they were informing him of that as he was out on the track during qualifying. I did not see a similar thing for you, so I would imagine this is maybe a user error moment.
Yeah, I think it was, but either way, I'm pretty impressed because I went from, I think I was the last to 12th overall, and then first in class. So I've managed to get my way through the traffic. I would say quite cleanly. I had to do a couple of dive bombs, I think, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Well, the wet weather is always going to let people come up. There were a number of people who were, shall we say, unimpressive in qualifying, who ended up with like really solid results today just from, being able to run out there and just not make mistakes. And
yeah,
that brought them up quite a bit.
I think it helped where the over time the track, there was a dry line, so people were able to stick a bit more, could use more throttles in places you wouldn't. But yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to my team. They were very helpful with my setup today because I was struggling get my setup together, but they helped me out last minute.
Well, that's what teammates are there for. Solid teammates are
Yep.
worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, they're very helpful indeed.
All right. Well, you're not going to be the championship leader, obviously, because you came into today quite a bit behind leader Matthias Wiedemann. But you struck back. Probably going to be something like second or third in the championship. Just let me pull it up here and see if I can do a little quick math. Iron Championship. So today you got pole position. You got the win. I'm going to guess you got the fastest lap just because I can't think of anybody else who would have had it. So that's probably a full 21 point haul. Full 20 point haul, I should say. So that puts you on 21. Thomas Boris, who was second in the championship, was not here today. So you'll overtake him. Probably overtake Wagner. Yeah, you'll probably be about third in the championship, I think, behind Wiedemann and Young. That would be my guess.
Yeah, that's happy. I had a really bad start to the season. Last race was it Zolder? Yeah, I had to pit. I think it was 3 or 4 times. That was a rough start, but yeah,
Well,
that was my drop round.
that'll if you attend all the others, I mean that can end up just being your drop round, and all is good.
Yep. Yeah, don't think I have anything else to say.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to leave the stage open for. Oh, Robert Volt is here. I was going to say nobody else is here, but Robert is here. Robert, if you would like to speak, there you go. Robert's ahead of me on the gain. He's got his hand up.
Yeah, boy.
Robert Volt, you were in the wars today, it looked like, but had a pretty solid result. Tell us about your race.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. My start was pretty fucking shit, but I'm actually quite surprised that I kept a better pace than we did during the endurance yesterday, even with the damage I had.
Well, that's good. Do you run a different setup, perhaps?
Nope, the exact same setup.
Exact same setup. All right. Well, maybe just a little bit more comfortable behind the wheel in the wet.
Yep, I'll just say it's like that. Yeah. So after the incident, I had I think it was 30-ish seconds of damage, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna bother repairing it, even though my steering wheel was like 5 degrees crooked and all that.
I mean, I've driven with worse than that.
Yep. The last 10 or so minutes, my steering wheel was like 15 or 20 degrees.
Oh.
Because of more accidents that was not caused by me.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
We believe you. We totally believe you. Always the innocent victim.
Yeah. Everyone else is to blame except me, when even though it's probably I who caused them sometimes.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of accidents you look back on and you realize it's your fault upon review. But
yeah,
that can happen.
Yep. It didn't really help that I had like 15 seconds of penalty to serve in the pits anyways, so yeah.
Well, in that case, you got a pretty solid result. You were like, what, 5th in categorization, I think?
Yep.
Behind the Triple H podium and Jeffrey Bacher.
Right. So, in terms of the race itself, I'm actually pretty, happy about the results, even though it went as shit as it did.
I mean, top 5 is top 5.
Yep, but hey, that's racing.
Indeed.
And for ACC racing, it's kind of like what I kind of wish that dry racing was like, but then again, a lot of people here will just deny.
I mean, you could have had Oral Jaws Day, who looked like he was in line for a second place in category and then picked up a drive-through penalty.
Yep. So. I mean, I'm pretty confident to say that I would have actually gotten a way better position if it wasn't for the lap 1 incident. But again,
well, you come away with 10 points today. That puts you on 22 for the season. Still near the top.
Yep.
Although our next guest, Professional Hater, is pulling away with
Yeah,
a really dominant display.
I mean, he can come onto the stage together with me if he wants to.
All right. Professional Hater, currently the dominant force in the bronze category. Another victory today. That's Zolder in the dry. That's Nurburgring in the wet. And also an overall podium today. How do you feel about the fantastic performance by any bronze standard?
Horrible, because I will say I think that pileup might have been my fault because I couldn't see Robert's brake lights and spray was everywhere and I should have held back instead of being aggressive.
I wouldn't feel too bad about it. It's the
If you
wet.
check, I
Stuff
don't,
happens.
yeah, I don't know, man, but I just felt really bad for Robert because like it's just like T1, lap one, and like straight out the bat, I shunted him.
I mean, it's wet weather. It's gonna happen.
Mm.
I'm not saying there's nothing to learn. I'm not saying don't review it. I'm not saying don't do different in the future. I'm just saying probably don't lose any sleep over it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of feel bad. I think that race would have definitely gone differently if there wasn't, a big pile up on turn one. But then there's always going to be a big pile up on turn one in Nurburgring.
Yep. Plus the wet. Yeah, wet
Plus,
Nurburgring
yeah.
turn one. Yeah, it's always gonna be a little messy.
Yeah, but apart from that, I think I had some pretty decent pace, but like my quali times were horrendous because I was fucking around with my tire pressures too much.
Well, it works out in the end. And again, like I said, kind of at the start of this, qualifying at the qualifying in the wet, not really that important.
Yeah, I guess as long as you keep it on the track, then
It's all
that's
it's
what's
all about that
important. Yeah.
consistency. If you just don't put a wheel wrong, for example, Oscar Altenberg, who finished the top 10, terrible qualifying. He started like 30th place, ended up in the top 10 just by not even being like especially fast during the race or anything. There wasn't any like improvement in pace necessarily. It's just outside of what other people did to him, he didn't make any mistakes. Got a top 10.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm just going to back up later on the T1 incident because, yeah, it's a bit hard to see the brake lights.
no, but I'll take full responsibility for that. 'Cause I
No,
was
no
like,
kidding about it. So
like it was like holy shit, man. I just didn't expect. I thought I had the space to go to the very right, but I guess I didn't. So yeah.
yeah. So yeah, for
Again,
the
again, I'm very sorry about that.
yeah, NP Homer, we're here to race.
About to get bombarded by like 15 penalties. Server free, here I come, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for commentating the race and have a good night.
I'm just having a look at the text chat to see if there's anything to bring up. A couple of comments about turn one, obviously. Oral Jaw pointing out what I did. He was he was having a lovely race and then picked up a drive-through penalty.
Yeah.
He says for speeding in the pit lane, which I would have thought would be a stop-go, not a drive-through. But
yeah, that's
it is a drive-through.
I think it's a drive-through, but depending on how much you speed, it could be a stop and go.
Yeah, okay. So
know.
if you just I guess I've just noticed I've just all the speeding in the pit lane penalties I've gotten were just bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it happens a lot. It doesn't. I think I'm actually overly cautious when it comes to entering the pit lanes. I tend to not get penalties, but
yeah.
I tend to actually I tend to lose time at the pit stops as a result. But otherwise, let's see here. I'm not really seeing anything else to comment on.
Yeah, but again, for the cars themselves, I literally thought that the brake lights for the Aston would be the big ass like red part around the indicators.
That's literally what I thought as well. If I'm
yeah. No, it's like we're no braking. No, it's literally the faintest yellow line in the middle of the fucking brake lights that would actually make sense, but no.
Yeah, the Porsche is the worst. Honestly, you can barely see the brake lights.
Yes, all the cars I actually enjoy to race with have the shittiest brake lights.
Anyway, thank you for commentating. I hope you keep commentating for us. It's always enjoyable to rewatch these streams. Have a
I
good
intend
night.
to.
Yeah. Robert, take care. I'll see you on the track
Yep.
on Sunday.
Yep. Spin to win, baby. Yep. I assume I haven't gotten that much screen time either.
Well, you got quite a bit.
Nice.
I'd say there are other people who got more. I would say, but like pretty heavy. You were more or less in a battle most of the time when I was looking for something to put on the screen. So you were I would say one of the featured drivers.
Nice. I mean, yeah, definitely because
Who would
because
I mean, the big star probably ended up being David Slater just because I left the camera on him while I was in the bathroom. But aside from him, yeah, I'd say I don't know. You're probably top 5.
nice. Well, yeah, I did have a lot of battles throughout the race.
Wasn't much battle at the front. Richard Oakes had a pretty lonely day. I looked at that a little bit. Looked a little bit at John Spriggs. Not much there. Hayter got a little bit of time, but not a ton. Yeah, no, I'd say you're up there. Probably a lot of Idris Cahill and Lucas Geese because they had a race long battle that I was checking in periodically and may have caught some penalties for, but
Yeah,
it was physical.
again,
I've got
marksman, really.
Shanu Murasanu in the chat here.
Shanu, my boy.
Shanu, the Boatley. You are welcome to the stage, sir.
Hello, hello.
Welcome
I had
to you.
a fun race. I thought I'd pop by and talk about it.
All right,
Because
let us know what happened. We didn't see a ton of you during the commentary, but
I started dead last because I had a quali ban.
mhm,
And then I
saw that.
finished, I think, P18 or P17. So there were a lot of overtakes throughout my race. That was very, very fun.
All right, excellent. That's
Yeah.
the fun thing about starting dead last. You get to make your way through some of the slower drivers and see some people
Yeah, that's true.
you don't generally see.
I mean, I still had some incidents. I got spun once, tapped from behind in the last corner, and then I got hit by someone else who was doing a spinning top impression in turn 6, I think. So yeah, Nurbs in the wet, always fun. I can love this race.
Mm-hmm. Tell us, how did the Boatley fare in the wet? We were joking in chat that the Boatley, of course, has to be a good wet weather car. It is a
Of course, it's fantastic. It was built for the wet. What are you talking about? It is called a Boatley for a reason. It's a fantastic car. Honestly, Boatley in the wet is some of the most fun I've had in this game ever.
The only
This
time
race, this setup, everything was absolutely perfect.
the only time I've ever raced the Boatley in the wet, I got damage to my diffuser like right away, and it was miserable. So I have a general negative impression of the car, and have never gone back to it.
Weird how damage works in ACC, because I carried 30 seconds of damage throughout the race, because I got hit very early on, and then when I pit, I only took fuel, I didn't take tires or repair, and it still felt alright. Sometimes on like 20 seconds you can't drive, now on 30.
Well, yeah, I think it depends on the damage, because like, for example, the damage I had in the race I'm talking about actually was just not fixable. Like if I looked at my damage fixer on my pit, it had no impact.
Oh,
I
I see.
It was just like permanently broken.
I see.
So if you get something like that, like sure, according to your pit stop, you don't really have any damage if it's not a thing, but like it makes the car absolutely miserable because there are just like items of the car that, like in real life, cannot be fixed in a pit stop.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Today I learned.
It used to be. Admittedly, it's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't know if it's still the case. But when ACC came out, there was unfixable damage that you could do to a car.
I see. Well, that was it for me. I'm gonna be watching the stream in replay. You always do a fantastic job, so keep up the good work.
Thank you, thank you.
Here I am.
I saw Alan Herrera pop in, but he has popped out, so we'll give him a minute to maybe pop back in. Have a word. Until then, I'll fill some time here. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Actually, in all seriousness, I'll take a look at the chat and see if there's anything worth pointing out that was missed. Not really. There's some people. There's some people. Talking about their races. Oh, we got a race consistency chart. All right, this will be interesting. All right, your most consistent race car driver on the day was Jeffrey Bacher. He's asking if he gets bonus points for that. I think the answer is no. David Slater, Kevin Shepard, Dennis Hook, John Spriggs, Aaron Shergill, Oscar Altenberg, which makes sense. I was talking about Altenberg all race being super consistent and just mistake free. Richard Oakes, Matt Gale, Felix Kramerich, Cedric Muir, L. Perry, Jack Biddle, Philip Sully, and Christian Leems were your most. I don't know how many that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Top 15 most consistent drivers in the field. They were all 98% or better. The best was 99.56% consistent. So that is pretty damn impressive, especially in a wet weather race. Not seeing anything else I want to comment on in the chat here. Oh, somebody in the audience. Who do we got? We have Alan Herrera back. Alan, if you want to speak, you have to raise your hand. Otherwise, I cannot invite you to the stage. Nope, he's typing. Well, thank you. Thank you. Sir, anybody can speak if they want. It is an open interview process, sir. There is no limitations. We've had some non-English speakers. We've had some very good English speakers. We've had some heavy accents that no one could really understand. Don't be shy.
All right then.
I'll see. You're fine. You're already ahead of the game.
Of course. Yeah. I don't know what to say, honestly, but I don't know if you can lead on the interview.
You can do what you want.
Honestly, this is like dipping my toes in what is like an actual simulator because I come from Gran Turismo basically. So
The GT
I
ranks.
yes, I was actually pretty fast. Well, I am actually pretty fast over there, but just being wondering. Let's see how I do on PC because I know that there's a lot of guys that you know are actually real fast, like elite and real life drivers and all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
So I just gave it a go, and here I am, fifth on my first race. I mean, granted, it's the second server, but
No, I
I,
mean that's
I, I, I
it's still an amazing performance.
sure, I still feel like pretty good about it because started 16th and then avoided the big pileup at the start. So and then I had that issue that I was talking about in the chat. That I had my mapping. I'm trying out a new mapping since I've been trying the game for a bit now before joining the league. So
I personally
I
would
thought,
map your ignition because that was your problem, right? That you were hitting
yes,
the ignition. I would map it away from the wheel. That's my personal suggestion.
yeah, or like
I
you
use
said,
it on my. I either use it depending on the game. and depending on the
Mhm.
car, because there are some more complex cars in some of the games I play. I either use the buttons on my
Mhm.
steering base, so
Yes,
like
I heard you.
yeah, and or heaven forbid, the keyboard.
No, I think I have some buttons that I have not mapped yet, so I think I'll move them there.
Yeah.
They're at the bottom of the wheel because I don't have anything on the base. I have the DD Pro,
Okay.
so there's no buttons on the base that I'm aware of, basically.
All right. Well,
So yeah,
I'd be happy to give you my button mappings if you want. I've never had the accidental ignition problem, so
yeah,
I'm not gonna speak to the quality of the rest of it, but
hmm
it's I've never had that specific problem.
yeah. I think I'll just move it to the buttons that I have not mapped yet. So
Okay.
I hope that this problem isn't going to be like a a chronic thing. So
I won't be. I think
yeah,
everybody at some point sorts out their button reissues and they get going. It'll it'll
yeah,
be fine.
sure.
You probably could have finished. Well, I don't know. Could you have finished higher? I don't know because you dropped out of the top 10 twice because of that issue.
Hmm.
So obviously you lost significant time. That being said, I'm
Yeah.
not really sure you had a shot at the guy who finished in fourth. Maybe though.
Uh, that's probably like in the realm of possibility, but you know, um, I'm just happy to have finished in fifth position, basically, because
Mhm.
first time it happened, I dropped out of the top 10. I was like, man, and I thought, well, all of these people qualified in front of me, so there's no way I'm gonna get back in front of them, right? So uh, then I just started overtaking them or taking advantage of their mistakes.
Yeah.
So and before I know it, I'm back in like seventh place, I think, eighth place, and then it happens again, and then I drop back to like 12th place again. I'm like, okay, this is not gonna happen again. I'm just gonna settle for this position and just bring the car home, right?
Well, I mean, it's a wet weather race. Qualifying's not all
Mm-hmm.
that important. Like the best story I have of this one is I was doing a
Uh-huh.
wet weather race and I had a couple of teammates. One was named Paul, one was named Steve, and we had not qualified very well. We were in a car
Mm-hmm.
that it was like two races after there had been a BOP shift that did not favor our car. So we went from
Okay.
being like in a car that could compete for like top tens and stuff to a car that like was lucky to get into the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Okay.
all had qualified fairly low down, like I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
like 20 somethings, and
Right.
it was a wet race, and we were at about the halfway point, and we just gotten their pit stops done, and all I hear over the voice comms is Steve going, "Guys, I seem to be in first place." We're like, oh well, we didn't expect that.
Yeah, and it, I don't know, it just makes you feel like, I don't know how to describe the feeling, like you did not expect it, but you kind of wished for it to happen, and then it happens, you know?
Mhm.
Uh,
For the record, he didn't win the race; he fell to third, but still, he got third
all right,
in a car that had no
that's
business
great.
up there.
That's great too. Yeah, and and the third time it happened because it happened three times. I don't know if you caught the third time that it
I
happened.
We caught it twice. Whether we caught the third time or not, I could not tell you.
Yeah, I
Maybe
had
I
the
caught one
stream
and
on.
three, two and three, one and two. I don't know, but we caught it twice.
Yeah, I had the stream in the background. I think you caught the first two,
Okay.
and then the third one, I believe, because I didn't drop as many positions. I mean, uh, perhaps you didn't catch it
Yeah.
at that moment. But I think I was in like sixth position at that point already. Then I dropped to eighth. I think that's what happened. Then
Yeah. Okay.
you know,
Could also just
then
have been something
clawed my
else
way
happening
back
on the
to
track,
fifth.
obviously.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is that I didn't realize when I was overtaking all of the cars. So I guess it was like mistakes or cars that went off the track. So I
There
I
were
wanted to have a little bit more action in terms of battling. I did have like a few good battles, but you know, uh, you just you always want some more, right?
Obviously. But I don't know. I think you had a pretty action packed race. You were one of the featured guys on the broadcast, which
Yeah,
generally means it was pretty exciting.
yeah. I mean, there was quite the story for me, I guess, but um, I don't know. Just glad to be, finishing so high up in my first race. I don't know what I did on the setup. I don't know what happened, or maybe it turns out that I was good in the rain because I never really raced in the rain before here in ACC. I don't have a lot of time in the game either, so but
Could just
I,
be that you haven't learned any like particularly bad habits that people get away with in the dry that they don't get away with
mm,
in the wet.
yeah, I kind of tend to be smooth like all the time, so I guess that's something
That'll
that
help.
played in
That'll
my
help.
favor. Yeah.
Being smooth
So
and not overly aggressive, generally speaking, is a good habit to have in the wet. Also, there are certain cars that perform well in the wet, and certain cars that don't perform well in the wet. I'm not familiar with the car you're driving.
it was a
It is
296.
actually the only car I have never driven on any kind of like serious matter.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, it's the 296.
Yeah. The
As
296 came into the game after I had to take a break from sim racing due to some leg surgery. So, and
oh,
I've never touched it
oh,
since coming back. Because I'm not a Ferrari guy. But I really, next time I do a race and I get the choice of car, I think I'll do it just to kind of get that full example. Because I've done a lot of work in the Aston Martin, I've done a lot of work in the Nissan, done a lot of work in the
uh-huh.
Lexus, done a lot of work in the Honda SX. The Audi R8 is my go-to. The Lamborghini I've done a little bit of work. The BMW I've done a lot lately, but the
Mm,
Ferrari is a bit of a blank
yeah.
spot.
Yeah, I mean, you should give it a go because, like Vettel said once, even though you're a Mercedes fan or McLaren fan, you're always a Ferrari fan, like deep down. That
Uh
that's my case basically. And
I can't say that I have any brand loyalty, honestly. It's just how the cars feel. It's the same, like I'm a big F1 fan, but like and
mhm,
I'll fully I've cheered for Ferrari, but
of course.
my cheering in F1 tends to largely just be kind of like underdog related. So
Hmm.
like right now, whoever's taking the fight to Red Bull, I'm cheering for them. But it's just because it's an anti Red Bull cheer. And like when Red Bull
Obviously,
was taking the fight to Mercedes, I was
you
cheering
were
for
a
Red
Red
Bull, but
Bull
it was an
fan.
anti
Yeah,
Mercedes cheer.
sure, sure. Yeah, I get it. I get it. So next year, well, this year now, if it is Ferrari, the ones that take on the Red Bull, are you gonna be a Ferrari fan then?
Yeah, I'll cheer for Ferrari.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's like it's but I just don't consider myself a Ferrari fan. I'm not anti
Sure, sure,
Ferrari.
sure.
I don't cheer against them necessarily. I started
Yeah.
I started as a F1 fan in the early '90s, and they were pretty bad. So anytime
Hmm.
they were doing well, I was fairly happy. And they had John Alesi, who was a driver that I had a fair amount of maybe not fandom, but good
Hmm.
thoughts, good emotions for. Um,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sure.
so that helped.
So yeah, well, maybe in my case, obviously because I'm Mexican, I had this obviously been cheering for Checo for the last 11 years.
Oh, of course, of course.
So I mean, no,
Something I'm
a
unfamiliar
little
with,
bit more,
cheering for someone from my own country,
of course. So
because
well, now once that
all the
Checo is
Canadian
gone,
drivers are just knobs.
I mean, you had Villeneuve, so
He was a
well,
knob. That's the problem.
oh yeah, of course. And
That's
then
the
you have
thing.
the other one that's
It's
currently
Latifi
racing.
and Stroll who are like, Latifi's a really nice dude and everything, but like the whole time he's in F1, I'm like, you're not good enough to be here, and you're only here because your dad is obscenely rich.
Sure.
So like, I'm not
Same with
exactly cheering
Stroll.
for you.
Of course. Yeah, then, Checo's gone now, so I think everyone here in Mexico is just defaulting to what they actually support, which is Ferrari,
Mm.
because, uh, Mexico is. pretty much Tifosi 2.0.
Oh, okay. I
So
didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah, we'll be back to cheering for them, I guess.
All right. Any other thoughts on the race before since
Oh,
there's
sure.
nobody else here, it looks like you got the final word.
No, it was a great race, and I guess I said everything that I wanted to say. So thank you for having me here.
All right. Well, on that note, everybody, we're off. I'd love to tell you what the next round is, but I can never find the goddamn calendar.
Mount Panorama West.
Oh, Bathurst! Oh, skeet, skeet,
Yep.
skeet. All right, we're going to have fun with Bathurst next week, everybody. I'm happy that that's not the one I'm missing. I will be missing the race on Super Bowl weekend, so
Mhm.
keep that in mind. That'll be round 4, I do believe. But I will be here for Bathurst, and we going to enjoy the battle with the mountain.